The fourth annual Politifest features community booths, activities, and conversations about San Diego's future. This year's theme is Live, Work, Learn. Joining us with details is Voice of San Diego's Scott Lewis. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Peggy.
Now, Scott, last year's Politifest focused on basically how to move forward after Mayor Fieldner's sexual harassment scandal. Tell us more about the theme this year.
Well, we try to capture what we think people and what we've studied and what we think they care about and what they're talking about. And it seems pretty clear that it's about jobs, it's about quality jobs, minimum wage, things like that. It's about quality schools, about all the controversies and reforms and charters and other things going on in schools. And it's about housing. It's about finding the housing that we need. And so, we're going to have, everybody always talks about civic engagement, but this is a chance to come and listen to serious discussions while also getting a beer or letting your kids play at the Kid Zone or see the fire truck and other things. We want to really bring politics, public affairs to the people in a way that's approachable and something that they can, again, bring their kids to. You're not going to take your kids to a hotel banquet hall, and get your ticket
City
validated.
Hall meeting for all day.
Right. So, take them to a place where they can play and joust or whatever and have fun.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times, and there's something for everybody on every single level. You have some special guests this time. Yeah. Why did you feel it was important to include Neal Kashkari?
Well, I wanted to have a governor's debate, but those are forces bigger than mine. So I invited both the governor and Neal Kashkari to come down. Neal was the only one that accepted it. I want to hear. He's an interesting guy. He's pulling stunts around the state. He's well-spoken, has a lot of thoughts, and he's trying to transform the image of the Republican Party. So I'm going to let him talk for a minute, and then I'm going to ask him some tough questions about, he did all this work, was wealthy. How did he end up homeless? But he talk about, what's with the stunt, all kinds of stuff like that. So.
In these discussions and with the speakers, will people in the audience be able to ask questions?
Yeah, hopefully we'll allow for people to text in questions. We've been having good success with that, so that they can funnel to my phone, and then and we can see how they react. So then Speaker Toni Atkins, Assembly Speaker Toni Atkins, is going to come up. A lot of controversial issues about where we get our energy. Is it clean enough? Is there other options? What about the big Vergara ruling about teacher tenure and other things? Is she going to run for mayor? I think there's a lot of great questions.
Be exciting to hear. Now, this idea tournament, this is part of it. What's that all about?
Well, so we years ago I came up with this idea that we could come up with like an American Idol for ideas, right? And have people actually vote on people coming up with thoughts. And it's morphed a little bit into people actually submitting, and now there's prize money, grant money for nonprofit or community groups that come up with best ideas. So we have 5 finalists that our members at Voice San Diego have voted on, and now those 5 finalists will face the judges and the crowd and see how they do. So my only goal is to not lose my voice. So.
We'll try to help you with that.
Right.
Can you tell us a few of the ideas, or do we have to be surprised?
Why don't you come and check them out? I'm not going to do them justice here, but go to Politifest. It's also it starts at 10. Neal Kashkari coming up, and then Toni Atkins after that. So.
Now, why do you think you talked about civic responsibility and civic engagement. Yeah. Why should they attend? I mean, what ultimately do you want them to take away from this experience?
Well, I want not only the people that can come in and just confront people like the Water Authority or, Assemblywoman who's going to have a booth, or other people, they can talk to them and get ideas. But then also those people can interact with each other. How many times can various civic groups that care about important things that are very different from each other, how many times can they interact? And then it's all about politics. Politics isn't a distraction, or it's always this thing you're not supposed to talk about. And this is a place to talk about it, to really get in, and to show the world that we can have these discussions in a fun and exciting setting. And again, there's beer and there's shade at the beer garden this year finally.
There's shade and all sorts.
So again, it should be an approachable type place for these kind of fun but very important discussions.
Sort of a picnic for politics.
Exactly.
That's what it seems like. All right, Voice of San Diego's Scott Lewis, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I want to let folks know that Voice of San Diego's Politifest 2014 is this Saturday, August 9th at Liberty Station Central Promenade. It goes from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and KPBS is a Politifest sponsor.